without, you know what, let me get Mr. Deron Jones on. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all don't know who Deron Jones is right now, and y'all are just, y'all listen to my show, y'all like, who the hell is Deron Jones? Who's 112? Y'all about to find out right now, because Deron Jones is the musical genius behind 112, and he's here right now live with us. What's up, Deron?
What's cracking, man? What's cracking?
Not much. Thank you for coming on the show.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, not a problem. Dude, like I've told you before, I grew up listening to Bad Boy and 112, so it's never a problem. It's an honor.
I appreciate that, man. That means a lot, man. That means a lot.
Okay, so tell the fans
Definitely.
who may not know who you are, tell them a little bit about you.
Well, Deron Jones. And, I love music. For those that don't know, I started music when I was a young child, but I started my musical career at the age of 17 in an R&B group in the 90s called 112. And, throughout the 90s, we was able to sell over, 12 million records worldwide and tour and do great things and, perform with some of the legends like the late, great Whitney Houston, rest in peace, and even the Isley Brothers and Janet Jackson. So just been doing a lot since then, Kind of took a sort of hiatus for a while as a group and start working on solo projects and things of that nature. So, it's a lot more to tell, but that's just a little bit on the career side.
Exactly. Now, speaking of Whitney Houston, what was it like meeting her and performing with her?
Well, it was an honor for us, as young guys in the business that she wanted us on her tour, and just meeting her and interacting with her was more like family. In my mind, she was like Auntie Whitney because that's how we interacted with her. Like, one memory that I'll never forget is her and the dancers on the tour inviting us to a picnic, and then we run into them, and they got these super soaker water guns, and it becomes like this huge water fight all of a sudden. So I'll never forget that. That was pretty fun.
Oh wow, that does sound like a dope memory. Now Now, I gotta know, and I feel like everybody else wants to know. All the Whitney fans that are listening, I'm sure everybody wants to know, what is your favorite Whitney Houston song of all time?
I think "Saving All My Love."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say that's definitely one of my favorites too. Between that and I Want to Dance with Somebody.
Oh yeah, that one was jamming too.
Yeah, that definitely was. Now, who are some of your musical influences?
Well, I grew up singing in the church and playing in the church choir, piano and gospel artists. One of the first big influences for me was like Take Six, and I used to love the way that Take Six harmonized, and that really, that's reflected in my music and anything that I write. You'll hear, the fat harmonies that's kind of like reminiscent of Take Six. Also, secular artists, like Stevie Wonder, Prince, Michael Jackson, a lot of other gospel artists too. Kim Burrell, of course. I don't know. I'm having a mental block right now. Kim Burrell.
It's okay.
Men of Standard is a group that I used to listen to a lot, and Isaac from Men of Standard, he used to sing with John P. Key's choir. That's one of my favorite singers, and also John P. Key himself. That's somebody that I listen to as well. Rance Allen, James Moore. I grew up listening to a lot of gospel artists. I really liked the passion that they had, and I liked the runs that the gospel artists would do. But then from the secular world, I really liked the songwriting, because that was I could relate to a lot of what they were saying, because it wasn't just all about church.
Okay. Now, what age did you discover your ability of singing?
probably when I was. I mean, I've always been like in music in some way. I've always been singing. When I was really young in school, I was always into music and really a bright student when it came to music. In kindergarten, I was playing like a lot of different instruments, like the viola, the violin, the piano by ear. I was singing in the choir at a very young age, and singing in the state choir with the school. So I mean, I knew I had a musical talent when my grandmother said I was like 3 years old on the porch, playing the piano, and then when all the other kids was outside doing their thing, I was just sitting there on that piano trying to figure it out. So it's always been with me.
All right. Now you mentioned playing the piano. Like, what age did you start playing the piano?
I probably got really serious about it when I was in like the 6th or 7th grade, But I had kind of been playing it the whole time, but just kind of, here and there learning songs off the radio, letting the kids at school hear what I had learned and stuff like that. But I got really serious about it when I got in middle school.
Okay. And now, what would you say has been the craziest thing that a fan has done to get your attention? I mean, I got to know first that question before anything else.
Well, wow, it's a lot of crazy things have happened. The one thing that I remember is being, with 112 overseas, and then a fan, as the bus was leaving, the fan jumped on the back of the bus. It was actually a van. Like we was leaving from this show called Much Music, which is like the MTV for where we were at that time, and a fan jumped on the back of the van, and it was moving. And then they eventually fell off. But that was kind of crazy. And I know another experience. I don't mean to cut you out, but I tell people about this all the time. This was like amazing to me. I was in the mall, with my sister, and we was just kind of, walking through the mall, and then this girl, she recognized me. It was a young girl, and she just started screaming, and she started crying, and then she started saying, she loved all the music, blah, blah, blah. And then she started asking about my family, like she knew all of them by name. She was like, how's your sisters, Sarita and Shalana? How's your mom, Pamela? Like she started naming people.
Wow.
And my sister was sitting right there with me, and she was like, whoa. Because, this was somebody that I had never met,
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of amazing to me.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it would be amazing because, you never expect for fans to pay that much attention and look that much into you and want to know about you. I found that nowadays, myself being an artist and going from being a fan and then to a promoter, I mean, it's still a fan no matter however you want to label it, but to, really look at this person and be like, how's your mom doing? And not even want to, talk to that person because they are so-and-so, or saying they were signed to Bad Boy, or they were signed with RCA. I feel like there's a lot of people nowadays that are like that.
Right.
I feel like
Yep.
I'm just saying, I feel like a lot of people like that, and when everybody will start notice it, it's a $1,000, $1 million question to me because I want to know. Because now you see these fans that are crazy still.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
That's true.
So I know. So moving back on to the subject here. Now I know you have got an album coming out, Reinvention. Can you tell me about how you came up with the concept for Reinvention?
Yeah, reinvention by definition is, to take something that's familiar and make an improved version of it. So for me, the album and just my life in general lately as I, become more mature is about self-improvement. So the whole album, I really wanted to become a better musician. I wanted to become a better songwriter, a better singer, a better performer. So, it's very spiritual for me too because, just being somebody from the church, I kind of got away from, God and my beginnings, and as far as the spiritual side of it is concerned, because I got caught up in the music business and some of the things and habits that it kind of can come with that lifestyle. So, and the Bible says, get back to your former your former works. And so that's kind of like the direction that I went in, is like going back to where I started, writing songs organically on the keyboard, and just singing at the piano, and then after that formulating them with the tracks, and just having sincere music that's sincere to me and true to my soul and true to who I really am and my experience. So, I mean, that's really what it's about, and I've always loved dancing and performing, and a lot of times, I really didn't get a chance to express that because, just being in a group, you kind of got to go with the flow of what the group wants to do, and that can be a good thing sometimes, but then sometimes it can stifle your creativity, and then it can kind of, limit it to the things that you can express because you have to kind of just go with the flow. But that's one of the things that I really want to express on this album is my love for the performing side of it, like dancing and just performing and being energetic as a performer. That's something as well that I'm going to really showcase on this project.
Okay. And I'm definitely looking forward to the project because I'll tell you which one from the album, which is my favorite, is Let Yourself Go.
Okay.
That's my shit. That's like I got that on. I'm serious. Like that song is on heavy rotation on my iPod. People be like, "What the heck is wrong with David?" Like
that's
idiot.
Up,
but it looks like we have some callers. Listeners, if you want to call in to speak to Duran, calling right now 858-956-2110. Make sure you guys press 1. Looks like we have Shawnee on the line. Shawnee, what's up?
Oh, sorry, I had to take my phone off mute. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? What's cracking?
I'm chilling. How are you tonight?
Oh, everything good. Ain't nothing but smiles, baby. Can't complain.
That's what's up. I have,
Do you have
one
a question for Duran?
you. Yeah, I have one question for you.
Okay.
What is currently in your refrigerator?
Wow, that's a good question. Currently in my refrigerator, like for real, Gatorade, Powerade, water. I think that's about it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you need some food in there, some bread, some butter.
Yeah, man, I've been on this diet thing lately, so I ain't really been eating too much bread. Or butter, for that matter. But that sounds good, being a country boy. That sounds real good.
Okay.
That's all I came up with so far. I'm kind of draw a blank. My kids are still awake.
Oh, okay, I feel you.
Tell them Munchies I said go to bed, and so did Uncle Otis.
I'm going to put them to bed. I swear.
All right, Shawnee. Well, thank you for calling in.
Not a problem. Y'all guys have a good night.
Thank you,
right,
too.
You too.
All right.
Let's see, Linda. Linda, you there?
Hello?
Okay, there you are.
Hello?
What's going on, Linda?
I'm all right. I'm chilling. I
You
have
a
one
for
question.
Duran?
Yes, I do.
Hey, Miss Linda, what's cracking?
Nothing much. I'm okay. I have a question.
Okay.
Do you rather perform overseas or in the United States?
Wow, that's a good question. I mean, I don't really have a preference as to where I like to perform, but I can say a lot of times, the fans overseas are a lot more receptive. I have to be honest and say that they're a lot more receptive, and they're more excited, to see an artist from the U.S.
Yeah, that's understandable. Okay,
Yep.
That's all I have, though. I have nothing else to come up with yet.
All right, appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, Linda, thanks for calling in tonight. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, later.
Later.
Okay, let's see who this is. 334-233, you're on the biz with D. Who's this?
Hi, this is Sierra.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
Good. You have a question for Duran tonight?
Yes, I do. The main question I have is to see if he's single.
Yes.
Well, that is a great answer.
Is it really?
Uh-oh.
Yes, it is.
He said, uh-oh.
I think that's your crush right there, Duran. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, is that what it is?
Yes, it is.
Where you from?
I'm from Ohio, but I live in Alabama. I actually came to one of your video calls.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay, that's what's up.
Yes, I'm the one that got lost in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, okay. How you been doing? You been all right?
I've been doing good. How about yourself?
I can't complain, you know. Just taking it easy.
That's great. I just been following you everywhere because I know you're my favorite artist. Keeping up with your music. Just want to let you know you're doing real good.
I appreciate that. You follow me on Twitter too, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hit me up sometime.
I sure will.
All right.
All right, I do thank y'all.
Not a problem. Thank you for calling in tonight.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, not a problem. Shout out to you for being such a, dedicated supporter.
Yes, sir.
I do thank you so much. Always.
Have a good night.
All right, you too.
All right. So let's get into some of this music from the reinvention. Duran, let's get into the concept of Let Yourself Go. How did you come up with that concept?
Well, I don't even know, man. That's one of them songs that you just in the studio and then all of a sudden it just hit you. I don't even really know. I mean, I listen to a lot of hip hop, so I guess it's like hip hop influence because a lot of their lines kind of, a lot of the rappers' lines right now when they say words, it kind of go in that direction, like top down Lamborghini, bottom up apple martini. You know what I mean? So those two lines were the first line come in the song, and I was like, yo, that's kind of fly. That's kind of hip hop, but it's still, R&B when I throw the melody on it, and then the track was in my head at the same time. So I just went in the studio and I just kind of ran with it.
Okay. So would you do us the honor of introducing Let Yourself Go to all the listeners?
Yes, sir. This is a new joint. You already know what it is. Strictly for the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Let Yourself Go. We in here. You know what it is from the album.
Okay, and we are back. And that was Duran of 112. And Let Yourself Go. So callers, if you want to comment on that joint, call in right now. 858-956-2110. And it looks like we have a caller tonight, Duran, that has a comment for you. So area code 404-296. You're on the Biz with D. Who's this?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey there.
Yep, we can hear
ma'am.
you.
Hi, this is Valencia, or Valencia112 on Twitter.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing tonight?
I wanted to make a comment because I don't have a question. I love the fact that you stream on Ustream for your fans when you do your music, because I really, really love all the stuff that you're doing. And you made a comment earlier about fans knowing people that you know. I actually know someone that you know, and it's because of her that I really paid attention more to the Group 112 when y'all first came out, because I knew who y'all were, but it wasn't until she mentioned to my mom that she was related to you that made me pay attention more. So it's not always people trying to find out stuff about you. It might be somebody that actually knows somebody you know.
Right.
Yeah,
that's
all I wanted to say. And that I will always love 112. forever.
Appreciate that. All right. Thank
no
you for
problem.
the love, for real.
That's some love for real. Thank you for calling in.
Sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Not a problem. All right, so caller 347-483. Shaquifa, is this you?
No, it's not. Sorry, wrong person. Anyway.
Sorry.
I was calling to say that I love that song. Like,
oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
That's a hit. That's a hit right there.
Thank you.
That is a hit. And I've been a fan of 112 since you guys came out. And I'm also in the industry as well. And you know, I'm a publicist. So, you know, that's not, I'm not going to say my name or anything, but, you know, if you're looking for one, I'm pretty able to give you my information, and then we can go from there.
All right, that's what's up. I appreciate you calling in.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All
right, later. All right, let's see who this is. I think they already... All right, cool. All right, so, callers, like I said before, you want to ask Deron a question, you got a comment on the song Let Yourself Go, call in right now, 858-956-2110. Make sure you guys press 1. And I'm sure Deron wants to hear all your comments, all your questions. It don't matter. I'm like that, the comment and the question. She said I can breathe now. Yes, breathe. Inhale, exhale, release, breathe, stretch, shake, let it go. You good now. I'm such a clown. But anyway, so with your with this album Reinvention, what sets the sound from this album aside from, you know, a 112 album?
Well, that's a good question because I guess the main thing with 112 is the voices. You know, you get voices. You know, you get the voices of Mike and you get the voices of Q. And the voice of Slim, you know, so as far as like my sound and what my style is, and you know, it has always pretty much been a 90s R&B sound. So I guess the major difference is just gonna be my voice, but I still have the same kind of 90s R&B sound with, you know, with all the big harmony and the stacked up backgrounds and the riffs and runs, the high notes, the chord progressions. But, you know, I mean, I feel like it's still updated to what today is, and I feel like the songs are still, you know, competitive with the music that's in the marketplace today. I feel like sonically, as far as my sound library, it has been updated, but like the sound in general is that 90s R&B sound, but an evolution of that.
Okay.
But I guess that'll be the difference. It's just their voices is not there really.
Right. That's true. Now, since, you know, I want to, you know, switch gears for just a second, you know, since it was Biggie, you know, celebration, his birthday and all this other stuff just passed, I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite Biggie moment and what was your favorite Biggie song of all time?
My favorite Biggie song I would have to say is Hypnotized. And I guess one of the most memorable moments, I mean, I don't know, maybe some people might not like the fact that I'm going to talk about weed, but they were smoking weed in the studio, and I just remember, like, opening that door. And just being, like, not able to see anyone.
Wow.
Like, I remember that, and I sat in on that session, and it was when he was recording, well, he had already recorded the song Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know, so I had heard Big rap on a lot of stuff. I even heard him rap on the song with Too Short, and I knew that he could, you know, get with the down south thing, but I never really heard him rap that fast. And, you know, Twista being from the South and representing that whole little thing initially, and then Bone Thugs and Harmony, you know, they came and put their spin on it, and a lot of other rappers, you know, do that fast kind of rapping, but that was my first time ever hearing them do that. So to me, like, that was one of the most memorable moments for me. First of all, from the weed smoking, and second of all, just how fast he was rapping on that song. And I had never heard him come with that style.
Wow. That's dope. I'm sure you get flashbacks of that, like, sometimes, of that moment.
Yeah. It was just funny, man. It was just funny.
Right, open that door and was like, what the is going on?
I was like, wow, this is nuts. Yeah, it was just, like, very cloudy in that room.
You were like, the outside clouds came inside, and now where's the rain at?
Exactly.
Oh, man. That's dope. That's really dope. Now, working with Diddy, you know, Bad Boy, how was that?
Well, I mean, for us, it was I guess a unique experience compared to the other artists on the label, because, you know, the thing about Bad Boy is that Puffy had artists signed to Bad Boy, he had producers, and, you know, most of the artists, their whole creative function and their whole voice, you know, was based on the availability of those producers and the availability of that studio. You know, whereas 112, we were more like an independent band, you know, outside of the Bad Boy family, but we were still inside of the family. But it's seldom that we you know, was dependent on that production house and just that studio structure. So I think, like, working with Bad Boy, for us, it was kind of like we would go down to Atlanta or wherever we were, record our music, take a meeting with Puff, and then after that, you know, maybe he'll let one or two of his producers produce on the album, like Stevie J, and we also work with Mario Winans. So for us, it was kind of like that's what the experience was like. It was very comfortable experience for us because we got to express ourselves freely on our own, and then when the album was done, you know, we would get one or two songs from other producers that was like outside of 112.
Oh wow, that's
so
dope.
I think, you know, in essence, I think that gave us a more authentic sound. Like, people, a lot of times, if people didn't know that we were on Bad Boy, they didn't know that we were on Bad Boy because we didn't really sound like, you know, a lot of the music there. Like, when you got into the meat of our albums, we set ourselves apart from the other artists on Bad Boy. I mean, I think as musicians as well.
All right. Now, I know when we had a conversation before, and you were telling me about how you produced and wrote, you know, a lot of the tracks for 112. Tell the listeners a little bit about that, you know, how that was for you.
Well, you know, I was always like this. I was always the studio rat, you know. I was the one always in the studio, you know. I was the one always in the studio, sleeping on the studio floor when, you know, some of the guys, you know, they'll be finished with the studio. They'll go home. I'm still in there. I'm sleeping on the floor, you know. And even after that, you know, I was the one, you know, I actually bought my own studio and started working. So I was always a studio rat. So a lot of times I would have most of the album done a lot of times before we even met up with Puff because I was always just working.
Mhm.
Like in Atlanta, you know, I think of one song, It's Over Now. Like, I had recorded that in my mom's house because I had, like, a setup that I would travel with. I had pretty much recorded that song at my mom's house, It's Over Now. Love You Like I Did, I had pretty much recorded that on my setup as well. Like, a lot of, I'm a player, you know, like a lot of our biggest records, you know, I was always in the studio, and I would, that was really my thing, to kind of have most of the album done, and then I'd get with the guys, and, you know, they would write on certain songs if those songs weren't finished, but, you know, for the most part, I was, you know, the producer of the group and, you know, the sound from a musical standpoint. And I think the uniqueness of the 112 sound came from Slim Voice. But the sound, you know, itself came from, you know, Deron writing and production.
I think I would definitely agree with that statement.